That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
Yeah,
you want one quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hispanic revolt on African Americans, like Hispanics asking for like being like Umar has a video on this and he said it's not our fight. The LA riots. I have multiple videos about that stuff. They want us in the revolt. Okay, all right. I guess we'll talk about it now. Especially if Kyrie has music in this entire thing.
The raw.
His music in the entire thing. So I guess we could talk about that pretty much. How I feel about it, like I said, with the LGBTQ plus community, I support human rights for everybody, and things of that sort. When it comes to Mexicans being racist towards black people and using the N-word and things of that sort, or being prejudiced towards black people and saying hateful things to black people, I don't think you can generalize everybody, bro, in a community, because it's like, I came from Marietta, right? Marietta, Georgia. So it was like a lot of Mexicans when I grew up. So I'm friends with a lot of Mexicans. Like I'm in my Mexican homie's wedding. Like I go to the dang I was going to the quinceañeras growing up and stuff like that in high school. Going to folks' little sister's quinceañera as a junior and as a sophomore in high school. Like, so like I grew up with Mexicans. My homeboys dated Mexicans and things of that sort. I never dated outside my that's another fact. I never dated outside my race. But yeah. So it's like I'm cool with a lot of Mexican people, bro. Like growing up. And so for me to be like, man, Mexicans be calling us the N-word and they hate us and they be calling us monkeys and things of that sort. And so I ain't gonna help out the Mexicans. That's just not my reality. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not my perspective. I know that's not the full Hispanic community because I got mad Mexicans I'm cool with and mad Mexicans that I grew up with. So I think it's just like it goes to like fighting for what you believe in. I think it's a case by case basis. If you personally think, okay, I think this is wrong, what's happening to the Mexicans, I should speak up about it, or I should do something about it. I should sign a petition. I should, you know what I'm saying, like call ICE and, or call the feds and call my local officials that I voted. I'm thinking better. And I know it's not a local thing, it's a federal thing, but if you feel that way, I say do it, bro. Do it. It should be on a case by case basis. If you're someone who has like personally bad experiences with the Hispanic community, with Mexicans, and you know what I'm saying, now Mexicans asking for help and you like, oh, you didn't want to help me. I feel like that's well within your right too. That's your personal experience. Me personally, like I said, I grew up with Mexicans and Mexicans been nothing but cool with me. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have no problem speaking up for the wrongdoings against Mexicans and things of that sort. I'm talking about like Mexicans, like some who had a green card, some whose green card expired, everything like that, just growing up in school. And it's like these kids were brought here by their parents, some of them like when they were 2, 3, when they were toddlers. They have, you know what I'm saying? Like one of our smartest kids in school of my graduating class in high school, like top 3, top 5, was it like he couldn't go to college because he was illegal. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't go to college because he wasn't smart enough, or didn't. But he couldn't go because he wasn't a legal citizen, and so he had to work as a manager at a particular, you know what I'm saying, kind of store and things like that. When he was like as smart as the white kids at the top of the class, and the black kids as well at the top of the class, who have the opportunity to be doctors and things like that and all that. But he was held back from the fact that he just didn't have basic citizenship, bro. It's crazy. Zero said, the funny thing is the N-word originated by Spanish. I help my Hispanic friends that I know, but that as much as I could do. My girl's best friend is here illegally. He's got a job and he applied for her citizenship. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, bro, that's just how I feel about the Mexicans and stuff like that. Like, some Mexicans, especially younger generation Mexicans, had no choice, bro. Like they didn't hop the fence or whatever. Like their parents just brought them over when they was toddlers. Like what are they supposed to do about that? You know what I mean? So it's just like all they know is America. It's kind of like 21 Savage is a great example of the same thing. Like 21 came to East Atlanta when he was 7, 8 years old, bro. He ain't been back to London since until he was like a famous rapper and he was, toured the UK. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so if you brought over as a kid, as a toddler, you know nothing but America. And I think for those people, like they shouldn't be booted because their parents brought them here as toddlers or kids and things of that sort. And like their grandmas, their nannies, their emotional support system, their families shouldn't be like rudely booted up and hey, get on the box. Huh? I don't think that should happen to them just because I don't know, they came here illegally. Because I think see, it's such a difficult topic, but like to go to generalizing, if we want to generalize, let's generalize. I think Mexican folks and immigrants in general, a lot of immigrants in general, they sign up and they do a lot of the work that like Americans and you know what I'm saying, natives and citizens don't be wanting to do, especially at the rate that they be offering. And I know that's very controversial to say, but like that's just the what I've seen from my eyes and my perspective in my corner of the world. So it's like y'all trying to boot these folks out and say they taking y'all jobs, they doing this. Da, 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 da. I'm like, bro, Mexicans good in my book, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. And if you talk about the Mexican gangs and the Mexicans that cause trouble and cause crime, like a Mexican classmate of mine stole my binder. You know, I had like a Batman binder and thing like that. It was real cool and stuff like that with folders inside, and the folders was like LeBron James, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant. Like I always been into basketball and sports. I was in like 4th, 5th grade, bro, and my Mexican classmate stole it, and her little brother was walking out, and I was like a hall monitor or something like that, safety patrol, and so like I'm standing out escorting the kids to the little bus lines and stuff, and I see bro walking with my binder. I said, "That's my binder." And I snatched it from him. The teacher was like, "Hold on, Rashad." Da, 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 da. I had to sit in the principal's office, talk about it the whole next day and everything, write a little statement and stuff, and you know, like the girl stole it and she was lying about not stealing it. And then they finally broke her down. She cried and said, like, "Oh, my family don't have no money and this and that. I wanted to do something for my brother." Bro, don't steal from me. Like, what the heck? So I'm saying Mexicans have stolen from me before. I've seen Mexicans in the illegal activity and everything like that. I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced it firsthand. Everybody does that, bro. I done had black folks steal. I done had white folks steal from me. Like it is what it is, bro. Like so, I think the good, the pros with Mexicans outweighs the bad. To be honest, like Zero said, I never had any issues with any race but my own. I won't say that because I've had issues with white people for sure. Like I've had like I said, I'm from Cobb County, Georgia, bro. Like look up Cobb County Police Department if you're not from Georgia. Like, bro, I have some stories for sure. Growing up in the South, growing up in Georgia and stuff like that, Spanish people could have changed the outcome of the elections. Yeah, the Spanish people like doing the whole like I think the Republican Party did a masterful job of just I think that in combination of like the inadequacies of the Democratic Party from the previous regime and the previous kind of you know what I'm saying, administration. I think a combination of those things was just masterful, bro, of taking the election because it was no, I have family out there. Nah, oh, he said I know about Cobb County. I have family out there. So you know Zero how I get out in Cobb County, bro. Yeah, I definitely have some white people stories. No, I'm not one of those people being like, black people cause more harm to me than anybody. Like, that's not my story. Like, I think the most traumatic experiences I had were with people outside of my race. Um, Oh yeah. Where was I going? Where was it going? The election.
that steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Change or Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Yeah, we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.